If I asked you, what are your values, could you tell me right now? If there's a chance that you can't tell me right now, then you found the right video. Because in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of being clear on your values. I'm going to share my personal values with you, and I'm going to give you a fun way to live out your values. So let's get into it. So, why are values important? Well, one useful way to think about it is values are like your compass or your roadmap as you're navigating through life. If you're absolutely clear on what your values are, then it will be easier for you to determine if people, places, or things align with who you are and align with your values. Would you not want the things that you're interacting with and experiencing on a daily basis to align with who you are and your values? It seems like a silly question, but the answer is yes, it's super important. Another way to look at it is we are faced with thousands of decisions every single day, and every one of those decisions is an opportunity to live out your values. If you're clear on your values and you're making decisions that are based on your values, you're more likely to end up where you want to be and to be who you want to be. And on the flip side, if you're not clear on your values, it's not a bad thing, but imagine if you're navigating a trail or you're going through a forest and you have no roadmap. Not ideal, and there's a good chance you might get lost. That's the metaphor for life here. Your values help you navigate life with purpose, with intention, and they help you stay on track. Have I convinced you to get clear on your values yet? If not, allow me to share mine. I have 7 personal values, and the story behind them is I was actually doing a business course a couple years ago, and one of the components of the course was to get clear on my values. Before that course, it wasn't something that was on my radar, and it wasn't something I ever considered doing. But when I sat down and I reflected and I thought about what was important to me, who I am, who I want to be, and these values became clear, it was an amazing process to have uncovered this map and to have this compass in my hand was an amazing feeling because it's something that I can rely on and constantly check in on. I have my personal values written down in my phone. I love to take a glance at them. I love to talk about them with other people and share and ask people if they have their own values. It's a guiding light, and it's something so simple, but absolutely necessary for everyone to get clear on. When I first started and I reflected to create my own values, I actually only ended up with 5. I wanted to be concise. I actually had a huge list, but I wanted to narrow it down to 5 pillars that I felt represented me. As I continued to evolve and to grow and to expand as a person, I actually added 2 more recently within the last few months. And so now I have a list of 7 that I'm super proud of. I think about them often. I think about how they might change over time or as I experience other things in life. But for right now, this is my list, and I'm excited to share them with you. So my 7 core values are as follows, in no specific order: self-respect, self-awareness, growth, openness, community, gratitude, and honesty. Gratitude and honesty were the last 2 that I just added. I'll briefly talk about why those are my core values so it can give you an idea about how to get clear on yours. I'll start with self-respect. I think it is incredibly important to respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, then how can you expect other people to respect you? You need to care for yourself because the energy that it takes to care for yourself is energy that you put back out into the world. And that energy that you put back into the world will eventually come back to you and compound. I respect myself enough to take care of my body. I respect myself enough to take care of my mind. I respect myself enough to honor the commitments that I'm making to myself, to honor my word. I like to look at this one as kind of like my foundation. It all starts with respect. I love myself. I'm happy and proud of myself. And I want that to be my base as I go out into the world and I try to be the best version that I can. The next core value is self-awareness. Now, this one is super, super important to me as well because it's crucial for change, for growth, which is actually connected to one of my other values. If you are not self-aware, then there is no data, no information for you to figure out where you can grow or how you can improve as a person. Everyone has blind spots, right? And you actually need other people to be able to identify those blind spots. But the bare minimum you should have is self-awareness to be able to determine how you can improve as a person. You need self-awareness to be able to go on a personal journey. And I've been on one for a really long time now, and it's been the best journey I've ever been on and one that I will be on for the rest of my life. My next core value, growth, is connected to the one I just mentioned. Growth is something that I constantly need to be feeling. I don't know if I'm addicted to this feeling or if I just have this need to be constantly expanding. But the lifestyle that I live and the things that I put my energy into all make me feel like I'm growing, and it's an amazing feeling. Who wouldn't want to be better than before, better than yesterday? I think we all have this innate desire to learn from our experiences and to grow, right? And so it's one of my values because I want to remind myself that no matter what I'm doing, whether it's traveling, reading, teaching at work, interacting with my peers, I want to grow, I want to expand. Another one of my core values is community. This one was special for me because it has a lot to do with the lifestyle that I've been living for the last 11 years. I've been very fortunate to build community all over the world. And although I feel like my heart is in various places in the world, I think it's incredibly important for me to recognize that I wouldn't have been able to live this journey or enjoy this journey or become the person that I am today without the community that I've integrated to, been a part of, and called my own. Community is everything because it teaches you, it challenges you, it supports you, it does so many things for you. And I heard a quote once online where someone was talking about this famous line about how the journey is more important than the destination, but someone challenged that famous line and said, it's not the journey or the destination, it's the people, it's the community, the people that you're walking alongside, the people that you're connecting with and meeting along the way. Who would I be? What would this journey be without all of the people that I've spent time with and who have shaped me as a person? So community is a nod to all the people that are in my life and who I've connected with and spent time with and shared love with and have made me who I am today. Another one of my core values is openness. This one is also special to me. They're all special to me, but they all feel unique in their own way. Openness is tied to how I've been changed by this lifestyle that I live. Being open is incredibly important because everyone is unique in their own way. One of my good friends from university always said that everyone knows something that you don't know. And you completely miss out on that if you're not open. I love being open-minded because that paves space for me to continue to change, for my mind to look at the world in a different way, for these filters, the lens that I look through to be shaped and molded and remolded. And being open-minded has allowed me to get to the point where I am because I've been exposed to so many cultures and people and perceptions and ways of thinking, and I had to have an open mind and an open heart to be able to receive that, to be able to internalize those things. And I think that's something that we should all strive for. Another one of my core values is gratitude. Now, this one I feel like I earned. I started a gratitude journal in April of 2024, so almost 2 years ago, and I write in this journal every single day when I wake up. And it's absolutely changed my life. It's changed my perception of the world. It's changed the way that I look at people. It's helped me to catch myself when I'm judging. It has honestly just softened me as a person. And it's truly a joy to be able to be just walking and going about my day or surfing and to just catch these little moments where I'm like, I'm so grateful for the life that I live and this beautiful planet. And it's something so simple as well that you can practice, and something so profound that by practicing every single day, you truly change the way you look at the world. I heard a beautiful quote the other day, which was, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's basically what practicing gratitude is. There's 1,000 things that we could be complaining about or upset about. And it's okay to experience those emotions because we're human, but there's always another way to look at a situation. There's always a different perspective. And gratitude has really helped me to refine my perspective. And lastly, my final core value is honesty. This stemmed from a book that I recently read, and I loved the way that this book talked about honesty and looked at honesty because it related it to growth. In order to grow, you have to be honest with yourself. In order to form strong relationships, you have to be honest with others. And it's actually a value that stems from my family, from my parents, something that they try to instill in my brother and I. And when I read about honesty in this book and I began reflecting and thinking about honesty more as a value, I realized that that's actually always been inside of me. And so that it felt perfect to add to my list. So those are my 7 core values. There's a chance that I will modify them or continue to add to them, although I prefer to be specific. Less is more. But for right now, those match me, my life as it currently is. And I'll constantly be revisiting them and thinking about them to ensure that my compass is up to date. It matches this fast-paced world and this ever-changing world, and allows me to continue to grow and be the person that I want to. Lastly, to conclude this video, I would like to give you a fun way to live out your values. So after you sit down and reflect, to think about what your values are by thinking about what matters most to you, one thing that you can do is sit down, look at your list, and assign each value a day of the week. So using my list as an example, I could assign self-respect to Monday, self-awareness to Tuesday, growth to Wednesday, openness to Thursday, community to Friday, gratitude to Saturday, and honesty to Sunday. And each of those days, I need to live out that value. I need to look for opportunities to live out that value. The awesome thing about this activity and what makes it so fun is that when you wake up and you choose to look for ways to live out that value, suddenly you see opportunities everywhere. The crazy thing is those opportunities have always been there, but it's not until you open your eyes and you're intentional about trying to live out those values do they actually appear. And it's very transformative and impactful, because the second that you try to live out those values, everything just makes sense and things in your life feel like they're in alignment. So I challenge you to sit down, reflect, come up with your values, but then I also challenge you to live out your values in this fun way and then reflect on that. Did this feel like who you were? Or maybe do you need to revisit what your values are? If so, what would it look like if you continued to live out those values on a daily basis? So that's it. That's my video on values. I appreciate you watching. Check out one of these other videos from my channel that is linked right here. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Take care.